The sun is shining bright today, you can feel its warmth on your skin. What a beautiful day, you think, with your trusty knapsack in the right hand, a white rose in the left hand, and your best loyal companion by your feet. You have no care in the world. All this time, the daydreamer you are, you were gazing upward at the sky. You take a step, and a step, and a step. You can hear the ocean waves crash around the hill you're on. What a beautiful day, you think. You take just one last step. You are the fool. Well, that is, as long as you don't like and subscribe. The fool represents the start of a journey, a young, simple man ready to take on the troubles of the world. He is not yet aware of the challenges he will need to face. So, were you foolish enough to play this god-forsaken game? I was. At the start of his adventure, Aether is the fool. I'm talking about Aether here, since lore-wise he's the protagonist, and you can't prove me wrong. Just like Aether, you're also foolish at this point. You have no idea what's even going on. I stumbled across this image some time ago. There will be some spoilers, but they should be vague. The things I will cover in more depth are the sort of hidden aspects of the story, so if you would like to figure that out on your own, be wary. That's the first reason why. The entire story of the game is already figured out, and for the people who like playing Sherlock Holmes, this is just perfect. You won't run into World of Warcraft problems, where every expansion makes you question what are you even paying for at this point. I think everybody likes the sensation of figuring something out before it's revealed, and this game can provide you with plenty of that. Hell, that's a large part of this channel, and good stories imitate reality. So how can a game like this even imitate reality? Sure, we've got humans, animals, water and all that shit, but that's not what I mean. Genshin Impact, in its mythology that is, takes a large inspiration out of real-world religions, especially esoteric ones, and that's what I'm gonna talk about in a minute, but first let's go over some more points so I can introduce you better to the idea. So, what I personally really like about this game is that you can play a badass character in such a beautiful world. It feels so good to just run around as Ayaka or fuck everybody up as my baby Wanderer. I love you, my anime copy. How can you be subverted to anime in place current year? Shit is everywhere, it looks aesthetic as hell, everybody agrees anime girls are cute and anime boys are the superior race. Even my credit card has a 90s anime on it. And the numbers on it are, while we are on the topic of controls, some boss fights are engaging and fun. Obviously you can jungle your way through content, but let's not discourage anybody. Sure, there is gacha, what game do you not spend money on though? The percentage of 100 free-to-play players overall in every game is incredibly small. You can always not partake in it, mind you. This is how much I've been saving up for Farina. See, you can do it. I used to have 10k Primogems, but recently I spent it on Novelette, instead of whom I got C1 Chichi, and you know what? I think spending money on this game is actually worth it. For such high quality product, I don't even feel bad spending money here. With each new patch, you just wonder how much better this can get. I can't even begin to fathom what's in Snezhnaya or Kanria. Earlier I mentioned Wanderer. This is the character I personally relate to the most, or rather his wandering version. By relate, I don't mean a cringy, oh wow, he's so me, I'm so edgy, but the aura around the character, like what vibe they give off. So the characters in this game are so overcolored and over the top that you can always skin someone, since somebody surely will portray a characteristic you have. I'm not the one to enjoy anime as, well, unless it's Furina, because I like feeling as if my character is me, and it's entirely possible for most people to relate to one of those characters, especially Gen Z.
Sticking at your yeah, there is love.
Although I think Mihayo should make more mentally unstable characters, since it's hard to relate to sane people. I'm so happy, I love eating and I love my goba. Man, fuck off, I'm about to be a boomer sitting around 10 hours at school and you're telling me about happiness. I'm about to waste my entire fucking life on a 9 to 5 and you're showing me a 14-year-old girl be ecstatic with cooking? this is my only ecstasy. This might seem cringe to you, and yes, I am cringe, just like most of their community, which is infamous for a number of things. In reality though, basically everybody you meet in the game itself is going to be friendly and hinged. Although I think that's a downside. Also, if you're not the one to enjoy high-octane gaming, you can always chill smoking pot at your pot. When it comes to chilling though, the story isn't chilling at all, it's burning chaos. So let me tell you something about this. I personally really like getting into the root of things, and the root of Genshin Impact, or rather the root of its root story, is a real religion, sort of. So is this some religious propaganda? Well, not really, it just makes for a cool story. Anyway, I think there's something we can take away from it. So almost everybody who is important in this game and is a regular human has a vision. The entire thing that makes these characters cool is some sort of magical power, which is called a vision in most cases here. So how do you get a vision? You are weird and enlightened in a way. It's literally called a vision after all. What is so real about this idea is the absurdity of the source of these characters' powers. Like for example, being a funeral parlor director and being a really good poet. Call me crazy, and you wouldn't be wrong, but let's imagine a scenario like this in the real world. A really smart guy who doesn't shower, a very flamboyant vocalist whose face is a little weird. What the fuck, man, you can even go ahead and do something as dope as this. Wouldn't you call this a literal vision? Why I think this was done purposefully is because Honkai does something similar, but a lot cooler. Your power is based on your philosophy. Here, your power is based on your vision. When Scaramouche was getting close to becoming an artificial god, he was going insane with all the amount of knowledge. In real life, to have a vision is something spiritual and mystical. So if you look at visions in the game this way, as literally visions, you have the recipe on maybe even living a cool life. Why would it be a cool life? Cause you are unique, you have your own life philosophy, and most of all, you enjoy it. So take notes, fool. You want more proof this game's philosophy goes deep? I will give you some more proof. I showed you this picture at the beginning. It looks really confusing, but in a minute you will be just like an ancient mage smoking on that arcane za, understanding the secrets of the universe. You think lysergic acid diethylamide gives you a trip? Understanding this picture is a trip. So Aether literally is the fool. Look at this card. The Fool has a white rose, just like Canria, or the rose in Lumin's hair, and a familiar next to him, that's just like Paimon. To be reasonable, I don't think this was done on purpose, but it certainly is something interesting. Taking that last step though, he dives into the unknown, which is this satanic world that's supposed to take away every single last dime out of you. This is very abstract, but please stay with me. It will all make sense in a minute. So this relates to the Gnostic mythos. Gnosticism could be described as a belief that knowledge and wisdom gets you closer to God. There isn't really one mythology, since this isn't a religion, but more of a foundation. I will be relating to the most popular sources and the ones the game is most likely based on. So in the beginning there was the Light Realm, the realm of pure elements. This doesn't relate to Gnostic mythology, but it will in a minute. To this realm came the first descender, the analog of the Gnostic Demiurge. The Demiurge created our world from an imperfect vision he had. That's why he's called the Demiurge, like he fucked the real king over. First, he put humans in Eden and created the concept of forbidden knowledge. He was afraid humanity would figure out what good and evil is, so he told the first humans to never touch this fruit of dualism. Well, a higher being got into his pathetic world, and under the guise of a snake, opened Eve's eyes. The first descender is the Demiurge, and the second who came is likely the one controlling the snake. The second who came was defeated though, and now he dwells in the abyss, the real world. You are in the Demiurge's hell. After all, his emissaries are named after demons from the Lesser Keys of Solomon, a grimoire allegedly composed by King Solomon, an ancient monarch of Israel who lived 1,000 years before Christ, where he goes over summoning demons. Here is an interesting fact. King Solomon used the demons to build a temple for God and further God's plan. Despite that, he succumbed to the darkness. That's how powerful demons are, kids. The true world is somewhere in the abyss. Let's not forget about a whole another dimension where our MCs came from though. Somehow the Demiurge is powerful enough to beat beings like that. They must have known about the existence of something like the heavenly principles, right? So is this game even worth playing? Well, it's a very casual game. For me, the cool part is that I don't need to try hard my way to diamond or invest 100 hours to have fun. Right from the start, the gameplay is smooth, the story interesting, and characters have a personality. Would you like a follow-up video on the sheer undefeatable will of humanity that Canary presents? Let me know.